everybody, for joining us on Digging Deep, the OK811 podcast. My name is MG Govia, the Senior Education Outreach Liaison for OK811, and your host, joined by our new employee, our newest teammate, and probably the best co-host I could possibly have, Luis Rendón. And this week we're going to be talking about a whole bunch of stuff. But first, how you been?
Good. It feels like it's been a while, yeah.
Yeah, so our goal is to record one every week, but last week was a busy one for us.
Yeah.
We didn't get to catch up much.
Yeah, we came back, like we said, from Ardmore. We're kind of preparing the next one, and then we have to catch up with older stuff, from here, from the office. But no, I had a great weekend, great Memorial weekend. Spent time with the kiddos, my wife. It was a little boring because it was kind of a rainy weekend.
Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed in Oklahoma, weather can be changing a lot, but no, not much. Let me see, what do we do on Friday? I think, so we took my son to, what is this big pizza place? It has it's almost like, what's it called?
Is it the one that's up on Brent and May?
It's on Expressway. It has like stuff inside.
Oh, Incredible Pizza?
Incredible Pizza, yeah. So he loved it. I was like, I thought it was just like a hideaway. No, not like a hideaway, like, what is main event type of thing, but in a small, but it's huge and you can eat. So it was pretty fun.
I didn't know.
My son gave him a little bit of tantrum at the end because we were celebrating his kinder graduation.
Oh, very
So
cool.
that was very fun. Then Saturday, cut boxes. All boxes that I have in the house. So it was kind of boring. And then, just lay in bed, watch TV, play with my kiddo.
That's a good Memorial Day weekend. Yeah.
How about yours?
Mine was a lot of suffering through the rain as well. It turns out all my friendship circles are either they left, went to the lake or something for Memorial Day, went somewhere fun.
Okay.
Or the few of us that were stayed back, we all were like, let's just hang out at our own houses and get everything squared away. The cool thing was on Memorial Day, I did actually get to go to the watch party that was at Paycom.
I had tickets, but I couldn't make it. Angie offered me tickets to Saturday, but I did not have a sitter.
Yeah.
So that's always how you have.
So luckily for me, my dog was fine at home, and I got to go and watch it on Monday. One of our other employees, Harvey, he works in IT. Mm-hmm. He got to sit next to me, and game was great. I hang out with a coworker. Harvey's one of our.
Yeah, he's super. He's like Flash. He's like, hey, I have an issue with. I'm here. What do you need?
Yeah, it's already fixed before you get to finish the sentence. No, Harvey's fantastic. So hang out with him during the game. That was a lot of fun. And the way the Thunder did it with the jumbotron being lowered and rally towels for everybody and Malcolm and all the hype stuff was going on. So it was good. It was a fun trip.
Is that the game they lost? No, that's the one they won.
No, Saturday's is the one we lost. Monday
was all,
we won it all.
The thing is that in playoffs, they play like
every 2 days.
Quick. Yeah, so I kind of forget. But
now we have a break until the finals, which doesn't
Thursday.
Not until next Thursday. Yeah.
So
that's good. 6 days from now.
It's interesting. We'll see what happens.
Pacers or Knicks? Usually we save sports for later.
Yeah, we'll save it for later. But I think I'm having my hopes high. I think Knicks are gonna make it. I don't know if you're a conspiracy guy with how TV works. Yeah, I worked in TV, and sometimes you do want to have the big markets, but nothing against the Pacers. They're doing their job.
Yeah. I'm torn. I think the story of a 3-1 comeback and winning or getting to the finals for New York would be really cool. But one of my best friends lives in Indiana now, and I've actually been to a Pacers Thunder game in Indiana. So it'd be kind of cool just to have that, but I really don't know.
An excuse to travel.
Yeah, and then I can go see my friend Adam again. So maybe we can do that. But I don't know. I don't know who we match up better with, and all I know is we better win. I really think we will.
There's a big info for people that like stats and stuff like that. If the Pacers make it to the final, will be 2 new teams that are going to win their first. NBA title.
Yeah, it will be a first for either one of us. Obviously, I'm greedy. I want it for us. But yeah, it'll be cool. Wow, we talked a lot more words. That was all.
One last thing, I'm all in. I think OKC is going to win it all. Yeah. I don't even give a chance to the other team that makes it.
Yeah, not even one game.
maybe one.
Okay.
I think Oklahoma is a very complete team.
Yeah, I do too. It's been a fun year, definitely. So, like I said, the finals start next week, and of course, we'll have tidbits about the game, our perspectives, because we're not experts at all. But it's fun to talk about being a fan. So this week after Memorial Day, it was a whirlwind. We had 4 days of activity and 5 days of responsibility. So this week was your first ever webinar.
Yes, first time ever. Even in English or Spanish, I never done one. It's weird. It almost reminds me, like I was telling you that day, when I'm on the radio in Spanish, and so when I do the radio for football, the halftime show, I do it on myself. So I jump in and like, hey, welcome, this is the halftime show report. I remember the first year or two, it was weird talking to myself. Because I mean, there's gotta be people listening, but if you don't have that person like right now that we're doing, it just feels awkward. It feels awkward. Like I feel like okay, so we'll be back soon with more stats, blah blah, and let's go to a break. Yeah. So I kind of got the same feeling in the beginning of the webinar, but then as we were rehearsing that day, the first couple hours before the webinar, I felt like I was a robot. Yeah. And then, you know what? I know this stuff. I think it's just the feeling of not making the mistake. Yeah,
I do that. When I first started doing the webinars, I'd script everything. And I felt like if I skipped a word or if I missed,
it's all wrong,
out of order, I just messed up completely. And I used that script kind of as my security blanket. Yeah. And I had to get to where I started out with full scripts, and then I dropped it from full scripts to just bullet points, and now it's just like a couple words just to kind of remind me. I wouldn't even call it bullet points. It's like, hey, we're talking about tolerance zone on this one, or whatever the case may be. So I've gone to where the more context I put on there, the less I use my own memory.
Yeah,
and so
it's tricky. It's tricky. I mean, because when I'm like off the pressure of presenting or doing the webinar, I drive to my house and I'm like, I know this stuff. I remember the concepts or any part of the law, and I think my biggest, I guess, as a rookie and trying to present laws and stuff like that, it's like I remember something at the last minute, and then I'm like, when do I insert this? When do I say this?
When can I share this thing that just popped into my head?
That's when you say like, I think I go extra, and it's because something just clicked, and I'm like, shoot, it's too late at this point. Like I already said enough information.
Well, I got to listen to your webinar live. I was there. It wasn't as horrible as you think it was. No, I'm kidding. It was great. Your English was fine. I never said anything wrong. We did make the mistake of not having the audio set up correctly, which was my fault. I didn't set that up. We have a little video that we played during the thing, and nobody could hear it. So, but that was my fault.
Technical
stuff. But still good content. You went over the 5 steps to safe digging, and teaser alert, that's going to be part of your 90-day quiz today. I feel like you should know it by now.
No, I do. I mean, it's easy. I guess, again, when you go details, it's like, what is it? What's the other part I'm missing for this step?
Yeah, exactly.
Should I say this? Because sometimes, kind of, not necessarily they overlap, but they kind of like, you do this and then go to the next one.
Yeah, they lead into each other. And the thing is, when you go to explain one, you want to give it an analogy they understand. And I think what I do and most presenters is that one more thing that we think of, we're like, oh, I could say it this way too.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, waiting the required time, right?
Yeah.
We could put tickets in for 3 days notice or more, depending on when we want to put it in. But when you're going to explain it, there's always like, oh yeah, it's really important to do that. And you're like, oh wait, I already talked about it somewhere else.
It's always that extra information, or I guess tip.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's pretty straightforward. Like you always say, like, there's nothing confusing, but there's something that you could miss that can pretty much like mess up the ticket, I guess.
Yeah.
If you don't give, like, for example, the right information, or if you don't wait an extra hour before you actually time of digging, that could mess things up.
Right, you have to have a valid locate request, which means it has to be after your work to begin digging time, and you have response by everybody before you do any digging. But Again, for our listeners who haven't checked out one of our podcasts yet, at the end of every podcast, we're going to be doing our 90-day quizzes with Luis, making sure he's learning everything he needs to.
I'm turning to 60 days in June 2nd, so I'm getting there.
Okay,
So
June 2nd already?
Yeah, it's gone fast.
Man,
Yeah, it's gone fast.
feels like a year already.
Yeah,
okay.
I know, at least for a year. No, yeah, next week. When is the 2nd? Is it a Tuesday?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the day that we'll be going to Altus, right?
Yeah, we'll be heading down the day before the safety day, do some networking, site visits, make sure everything's ready to go, and then the big safety day. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, no, another chance to be exposed and present.
Yeah,
That's what I'm looking for, and just keep learning. Getting used to the content.
Yeah, more experience every single time, and also we get to check out Southwest Tech, which is a new technology center.
A new town.
Yeah, new town, new technology center, new faces.
Yeah.
I looked at the registration the other day. A lot of names I haven't seen before, and not that I know everybody in Oklahoma, but after all these years, it feels like I'm close.
Quite a bit.
Yeah, but yeah, so I'm looking forward to it. I was just thinking about how in just 60 days you've gone from the interview process where we gave you homework to tell us about OK1 to now where you're almost ready to do a whole presentation by yourself. I'm really impressed.
Yeah, I'm trying my best. Again, I always in the mornings, I don't know if you see, I have my folder open, and I always go back to the first thing I learned. Now on the second stuff that I'm learning, and I'm like, trying to remember just those little words that can click in my mind so I can remember stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, this is easy. This is just, again, like you said, if you forget one thing, it's not gonna hurt the term, the information, as long as you give the main stuff.
Exactly. The things that may have been dropped off of a presentation so far has been added stuff, not the stuff they're going to be tested on. So we'll learn how to elaborate and give those extra details as we go. So again, you're doing great. If you haven't already heard Luis present, check out our safety days, check out our webinars. Our webinars and all that information is going to be found on okexcavationsafety.com. And just go find out what safety day is closest to you, register and join us. It'll be really cool. So, have you noticed my new cup?
No. Who's that? Who's the coffee? Jim and James.
Yeah, so every week we've had a different name on our mug. This week, I just finished off my water. We have Jim and James, pioneers in industry podcasting. They work for Energy World Net. They're a sustaining company of ours, great partner to work with in the oil and gas industry. And so thanks to my friends Jim and James with Energy World Net for the coffee mug. And we give you some love for your podcast. We're good. So
right. We should have one that says Luis and MG.
Yeah, so we'll get one. We should do that. We'll get a coffee mug of ourselves. It'd be looking cool. Hey, man. So we already talked thunder a little bit today.
Yes.
We got ahead of ourselves, but I don't want to let our fans down. They love us talking about sports.
Yeah.
Based on the 2 episodes we've done
so far. Oklahoma's been pretty good in sports right now.
Yeah, like not only is Thunder doing great, but my new obsession is softball. I used not to be a softball fan at all.
I cover a lot of games in softball working at Sooner Vision for OU. I did a lot of camera. And I remember, I think it was 2 years ago, they were at a super regional. They were facing Clemson. It was tie game. I think either they were tied or something, or they were losing. And Kenzie McKenzie, who's the catcher at OU, home run, dude. See ya! OU has those Sooner magic moments that, yesterday they had one.
Yeah, I saw the highlights on that one because I was at work when it happened. But yeah, I heard about the home run to walk off for the game. And then last night I watched a little bit of the Oregon UCLA game. And the thing is, like I said, I wasn't a huge fan of softball. I'm not even a baseball fan. Just kind of a slow sport for my ADHD brain. But softball is growing. It's faster than I thought. It's
fast, dude. I've worked games and I'm done like in an hour and a half. Because OU run rules everywhere.
It's a lot easier if you just win by a lot.
Yeah, so as a fan, maybe it's not very fun because I want to spend 2 hours here. Now I'm like 30 minutes earlier.
Yeah.
But no, I started liking softball covering OU.
Very cool.
I mean, it's a sport that is growing. In fact, the Olympics, the softball Olympics is going to be here in OKC, same as what else?
The river sports.
The river sports. So OKC is booming in terms of sports.
Yeah.
I know that Russell Westbrook is going to be creative director for the whole sport area, right? For the whole...
Yeah, so the new sports entertainment district that's coming in is going to be built around the stadium that we're going to be using for soccer and all that other stuff. And Russell Westbrook is one of the big investors.
That's awesome.
So it's really cool.
Awesome. People still love him a lot here, man.
Yeah, he's I wear my Westbrook jersey. Well, not when we play him ever again, though. The one I wore it for the game one against Denver, and we lost. So I won't do that any mistake again.
Has it given any name to the soccer team yet?
No, they're still debating on the soccer team name. But you'll hear it second. As soon as I know it, I'll share it with our listeners. Dude, but yeah, so there's a little bit of sports stuff for you. If our listeners have sports questions, go ahead and send them in.
I'm going to OU fan. I think everybody knows now.
Yeah, if they haven't figured that out, OU, Oklahoma City Thunder, I can talk soccer. Like, we have tons of stuff. You can talk soccer.
Champions League final this weekend. Inter Milan, PSG.
Okay.
So don't miss it.
I will miss it. This weekend's going to be a big weekend, but I'll get a highlight, so we'll see.
Before you break ground, know what's underground. Whether you're new to the industry or just need a refresher, Oki 811 certification training has you covered. Get trained online at your own pace or join us in person for hands-on learning that makes a difference. From safe digging laws to real-world locate scenarios, our courses help protect lives, property, and the infrastructure that keeps Oklahoma moving. Designed for excavators, contractors, and utility pros like you. Sign up today at oki811.org/training. Safe digging starts here.
But that being said, we need to wrap up this.
To wrap it up, okay.
Our listeners are probably like, do they ever talk about digging?
No, we do. Always.
But we need to focus on the 90 days. This is the whole thing. Listeners, get ready. We are going to go over... Well, you just did a webinar over the 5 steps of safe digging. We need to make sure you know your stuff.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
There we go. So let's talk about them. I am going to tell you the step, and you tell me why it's important and what that step is.
All right, sounds good.
So first step is contacting OK1 before you dig. And I took a big step back. I'm probably
that's step 2.
Yeah, I'm taking steps all over the way. So step 1, we're putting in a locate request. Tell me the ways that you put in your locate request.
So we're talking about
step 1.
Step 1, like pre-planning.
Oh yeah, plan your work.
Planning your work. And we talked about this in presentation. So you want to make sure that you scan your area of excavation, or your work site, at least 50 feet in all directions, looking for any visual indicators like gas meters, conduits, underground lines. I've been there before.
Right, exactly.
You also want to make sure if there's any land records, GIS maps.
Yeah.
Prepare all your area as much as possible, looking for any potential hazards. Create a job hazard analysis.
There you go.
To document any findings that you may have, or also prepare your crew if something happens, anything that can cause delays or catch you by surprise.
Exactly. Job hazard analysis, you're documenting all hazards so that you can prepare to prevent them if you can, and what happens if one does happen.
And so, again, it's just to prevent damages, anybody getting hurt, or protect you in the underground lines.
Exactly. So step 1 is plan your work. Step 2.
Step 2 is the main thing. Keep the main thing.
Right.
Call or contact Oki 811. Once you have all this pre-stuff ready, pre-planning, preparation, you contact Oki 811 either through your phone, like we said, or just talking to an agent, and you give all the information that they require.
Exactly. And that We do recommend using our website. Over 75% of all locate requests are submitted online. So it's just faster. It's easier for you.
And that's 24/7.
Yeah, it's 24/7. You can do it at 3 a.m. in your pajamas if you're ready to dig in 3 days, right? So online is available for you 24/7. Give us a call if you need to. If it's a more complicated or you're just not familiar with putting in locate requests, our agents will be happy to help out with that. Ready for step 3?
Yeah, did I miss anything on contact OK1? Just,
No.
like I said, well, we don't have to talk about all the information that needs to be given. It's kind of, we'll leave it for another one.
Yeah, we'll save that one for another day.
Okay. Step 3 is waiting the right time.
Yeah.
The required time. Yeah.
So why do we use that phrase, the required time?
Because it's 48 hours, right? And that doesn't include the day that you call. And you have to give enough time to the locators to actually go there and mark your site.
Exactly.
So we want to make sure that everybody's on the same page.
Yeah.
You have to wait because sometimes the operators have to send their locators and they need to know if and I don't know if I'm jumping ahead, if there's any access issues or they need to contact the person in the field that has knowledge. All that stuff matters. So you have to wait until everything's been marked before you can actually start digging.
Exactly. Waiting on the markings is literally waiting till the work to begin, date and time. The reason that you need to wait is because your ticket's not valid until your work to begin, date and time. So whether you gave 3 business days notice or up to 10 days notice, you have to wait until your work to begin, date and time, because that gives all those operators enough time to come out there. And you brought up the importance of checking for response, which is the next step.
I know. Something I want to also mention in the waiting that required time is that, like you just said, you can have everything marked and everything is all good to go, but it's not the date time yet. The date. But if you do go and start excavating and then you hit something, then you're in trouble.
Exactly. If I put in a ticket on Monday and my work to begin date and time is Thursday at 10 a.m. and I'm digging on Wednesday because I looked at positive response and I thought everything was here. If I hit something on Wednesday, even if everybody responded, even if everybody said it was all clear, if I'm digging on Wednesday and I hit something, I'm going to be liable for that damage because I didn't dig with a valid locate request because it's not valid until the work to begin, date and time. So great point.
Or you can also hurt yourself or create any accident. So again, it's just following that right protocol.
Exactly. Wait the required time. Make sure that the marks are there, and that's what the next step is checking positive response and verify markings.
Again, once you wait the 48 hours, you need to make sure that every operator has given you the right response. If it's clear, no conflict, if they need a watch and protect that they need to send, you have to make sure that all is in the status. You have to check your status. Even if you go there again, if you see everything's checked, everything's marked, you still need to go and if there's any specific information that they want to give to you. Mainly for watch and protect.
Yeah, watch and protect is a good reason to be checking your positive response. Also, if they're having any difficulties reaching you, right? Like
issues,
they've been trying to get out there, the gate is locked, the property owner isn't there, there's an animal in the backyard, whatever the case may be, they're trying to reach out to you. So the responsibilities of positive response is the excavator is responsible for checking it, the members are responsible for providing it, and then, we're going to hold on to it for up to 4 years. So everybody can see that communication. So check your positive response before you start digging to make sure everybody has responded and it's your work to begin, date and time is huge. And then we're down to the final step.
Dig safe.
Dig safe, right? So the markings are all thrown down. We know where the utility should be within 2 feet of the markings.
You have the right equipment.
You've checked your positive response. You're going to hand dig. You're not going to use any heavy equipment.
Respect tolerance zone, 24 inches outside of the wall or edge of the pipeline.
Exactly.
On each side.
Yeah, exactly. Regardless of what the facility is, pipeline, conduit, cable, anything within 2 feet of it, need to keep the heavy equipment away until it's exposed, supported, protected. You knocked out the 5 steps of safe digging.
Yeah, no.
I think you did better today than you did on that webinar.
Yeah. It's, like I said, once I'm out of it, I'm like, I know this stuff. I'm trying to follow the script like I'm an actor or something.
Yeah.
No, one thing I wanted to mention about following tolerance zone, which is the 24 inches on each side, is that the only way that you can use heavy equipment, again, is if you can expose the line or the pipeline in this case and protect it.
Exactly.
Once you can protect it, you can clearly see it. Then, if I'm not mistaken, you can use heavy equipment. Correct?
Right. If it's within a watch and protect, there would be a little bit of a variance there because the operator will have more say on how close you can be with heavy equipment and stuff. But outside of that, once those facilities are exposed, supported, and protected, that's when heavy equipment can be used. But again, 2 feet is really, really close.
So you have
that
to be
supported exposed should be more than 2 feet away from it.
And again, when you're talking about support, and just to add something, is under, right?
Yeah, exactly. So
that doesn't let the underground like hanging, right?
Right, exactly. That's a perfect word. Yeah, if you're digging out and that facility, that line is exposed from more than 6 feet, it's very easy for it to sag or dip or whatever. So it needs to be supported every 6 feet to make sure that it's up off and it stays level for where it's buried.
And another thing that this might be a bonus for me, but
you've already got
I want to add it, I guess. But we talk about digging, exposing the lines, keeping it safe. Yeah. But another thing that set in my head when the first time I listened to you presenting is that when you're putting the dirt back.
Right, exactly. How heavy dirt is.
Yeah, and make sure that the debris, right? There's nothing, any material that can actually, when you're putting the soil back, damages the underground facility.
Yeah, putting the dirt back, that process is called backfilling.
Backfilling,
yeah. So you're...
That's part of the safe digging.
Yeah, exactly. Backfilling is just as important as the excavation that began the process. When you put that dirt back in, you want to make sure there's no hard clay, rocks, sharp objects, ice, anything like that. And then once you do backfill it, then you'll want to compress it to the same compact level that it was before you dug.
Yeah.
So that way erosion and washout doesn't happen. So yeah, you got the bonus.
Yeah.
On my own on that. Yeah.
No, because I mean, it has to suck after you do all the job, you do it all right, and then let's say you put the dirt back, and then there's something like you say, sharp and boop.
Yeah, exactly. We want to avoid that, and then we touched on it, but just to make sure we know before backfilling, make sure there are no damages, and damages aren't just when there's fire, smoke, or floods, right?
Any scratch can.
A dent may not look like that big of a deal right now, but that dent on that conduit, when you throw in a couple of tons of dirt, that dent can now become a hole.
Yeah.
It's too easy. So make sure you're documenting everything, take pictures of everything before you backfill, show that there's no damages. If you do discover anything, do not backfill. Call us first so that we can help you get a hold of the operator for repair. And then take pictures afterwards to show that nothing happened. The documentation bonus, like that's huge. If I can add one more thing to the 5 steps, it would be like the 10 steps, because it would be like, take pictures. Wait, take pictures. And like that's how often it should be. Just every other step, more documentation.
It's funny because you hear it, but again, it's got to be something that you have to remember, that try to document everything that you see. And even, again, I'm going to mention Randy again. He says it like, when you're working with watch and protect or near regulated pipelines, document every little thing.
Yeah.
Everything, every movement. Because again, that saves you from when it comes to liability.
Liability, the cost of repair, and fines, more, right? The documentation is huge. My recommendation is always document as much as you can, and hopefully you won't need it 95% of the time. Like, hopefully you'll never need all this documentation I'm begging you to do. But when you do need it, you'll be so glad that you did. It could save you thousands of dollars. Yeah. It could save you so much time and effort. So it's definitely worth it. So with that, I think you have 30 more days to be at 90 days.
Yeah, man.
Otherwise, 1 more month.
You remember how they it's just the funniest thing. Remember Prince of Bel-Air?
Yeah, of course.
when they kick them out of the house.
That's what.
What happened.
We're not kicking you out. We're planning on having the Fresh Prince of Okie for a while, so you're good. That's funny. But yeah, Luis, you passed yet another test. We have another 30 days to go. We have some cool events coming up. With the safety days in the month of June. Then we have
a Hispanic one in July. We're doing the job fair.
You have
the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce will be there. I don't know if you're gonna join me, but you're welcome to.
Yeah, I'm planning on it. I want to be there. Also, shout out to McKee Utility Construction, our McKee Utility Company. They booked us to come and help out with some employee training. So it's a great opportunity for us down there as well. And kudos to McKee for reaching out and requesting training. Just so all the listeners know, it doesn't matter if you're a member company or a contractor company or a small mom and pop landscaping company. If you want additional education on
English or Spanish
on how to use OK811 properly and keep yourself safe, we offer that. It's free. So just reach out to us. Again, the email is education@ok811.org. All right, listeners, thank you so much for joining us for another episode of Digging Deep. We appreciate all your contributions and participation as we are learning with Luis over the next series. And keep in touch with us by sending us an email at education@ok811.org. And we appreciate everything you're doing to keep Oklahoma safe. Thank you.